Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Hello, hello. Nice to see
Hello.
you. Hello. We we are so happy that you choose our workshop. It's amazing. Hello. We are not
Hello.
starting. Hello, we are not starting yet. That's why you can
Hi.
write your name. Yeah, you can write where you from. You can I don't know, write something in our chat. And we will start. When we will start? We will be starting at 15 minutes to an hour. And hello, hello. Yeah, I see Romania. Hello. Poland. Lithuania. Wow. So nice. I'm so glad to see you all. Okay. Australia. Austria, sorry. Spain. Romania. Wow. Slovakia. Oh, such a nice. Okay, Bergamo, Italy. Wonderful. Hmm. Okay, Madagascar. Oh, amazing. What's the weather in Madagascar? Here in Czech Republic we have snow. Okay. Mhm. Welcome. New participant. We have 43 people. Yes. Yeah, hello. Nice to meet you. Romania, Lithuania. Wow, such a big international group. It's amazing. Slovakia. One more. Bulgaria. Wow. Okay, welcome. We will start soon. We'll start in at 15 minutes to an hour. While we are waiting, you can write where you're from, say hello, settle in, and we will start. It's so intense day today. Or maybe not day. Depends where you are. Okay. India, hello. Yes. Austria, nice. Bulgaria, wow. Philippines, hello. Poland. Okay, 5 more minutes and we will start. Oh, Bratislava, Slovakia, hello. Amazing. And it's so nice that you are with a turn on camera. It will be great when we start that you will be with turn on camera, that we can see you and feel, this exchange with energy. Okay. Just a few more minutes and we will start a nice workshop. Yeah.
Hey, hello everyone. Oh, I can see 47 people and I can see also some faces that I know. Hello everyone. So let's give like 2 minutes for everyone who was taking a break. Yeah, it's lovely to see Ruki. Yeah, hello. Editka, yeah. I feel really honored, that you came for my workshop. Zuzka, hello. Hello to Košice. Mm. Mm. Okay, so what do you think? Shall we start?
Why not? Let's start.
Yeah,
You
let's
will...
start.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's start. All right, so welcome everyone. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Vierka Machalkova, and I'm a founder and a teacher at Jolly Homeschool. It is an elementary school with the adolescence program too. And today we are going to explore how freedom and structure are not opposites in Montessori education, but partners, like two forces that together they create confident, purposeful, and socially aware children. We'll look at systems that support independence, community, and responsibility. And we'll see how structures create the safety from which true freedom can grow. To be honest with you, when we were a small school, this was quite easy, but as we grew and we had more children and more adults working in the environment, and of course, more parents, it became a real challenge. So, I am going to talk from my heart about my experience. And if you have any questions, please write them to the chat. My co-host Ludmilka, she will answer them or she will pass them to me. Okay, at the end. So let's start. Okay, I would like to share, and I'm not able to share. I'm not able to. Okay, let me do it one more time. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Okay, so when people think of Montessori, um, they they often imagine a classroom full of children freely choosing activities without much adult direction. But let me ask you, have you ever heard someone say Montessori is too free or too unstructured? It's a common perception and it misses something essential. I'm sorry, this is not a good slide. Something is not working, Ludmilka. I'm sorry. Okay, here. Okay. Uh, and Montessori discovered that freedom on its own does not lead to calm, purposeful learning. In fact, without clear systems and expectations, freedom can quickly turn into confusion. Children may have many choices, but no sense of direction. And on the other side, have you experienced a classroom with so many rules that there is no room for children's initiative? Too much structure, on the other hand, becomes rigidity. It creates compliance rather than independence. Montessori's genius was to see that freedom and structure are not opposite at all. They depend on each other. Predictable routines, clear limits, and well-prepared environment actually make freedom possible. They give children the security they need to make real choices and the confidence to act with autonomy. So the paradox is this: structure does not limit freedom, it protects it. It gives freedom shape, meaning, and purpose. So as we explore this idea together today, I invite you to notice moments, either from your own experience or your classroom, where structure enabled a child to flourish rather than restrict them. And those are the moments where Montessori's paradox becomes visible. Mhm. Okay. So why structure matters? When we speak about structure in Montessori, we are not talking about rigid rules or adult control. We are talking about the kind of order that gives children a deep sense of safety. Let me invite you to reflect for a moment on this question. Like, how do you feel when you know what to expect? Most of us feel calmer, more focused, more confident, and children are no different. Predictable systems such as routines, roles, and shared agreements create exactly this sense of stability. They form an emotional container, a kind of soft boundary where children can act with courage. When children understand the rhythm of the day, the expectations of the community, and the purpose of the materials around them, something remarkable then happens. They begin to trust themselves. And that trust is foundation of autonomy. Because when a child feels safe, they are far more willing to take initiative, to make choices, and yes, even to make mistakes. Structure gives them permission to experiment without fear, and it signals you are supported. You can try. You can go and learn. Have you ever observed a child flourish simply because they knew exactly what to do next? That clarity is not accidentally. It comes from the system we quietly build in the classroom. So, structure in the Montessori sense is not a barrier, it is scaffolding. It holds space for growth so that freedom can deepen rather than drift. When children experience this combination, predictability from us, initiative from themselves, they step into learning with genius confidence. The role of adult. One of the most transformative shifts in Montessori education is the shift in our role as adults. Many of us grew up in classrooms where the teacher managed everything: behavior, attention, transitions, materials, even emotions. But Montessori invites us to step into a very different posture. Let's take a moment to reflect together. How much energy do we spend managing children? Like reminding them, correcting them, redirecting them, solving conflicts. Most of us do far more of this than we wish. Montessori turns the question around. Instead of asking, how can I control this behavior? We ask, what system or structure could support the child to manage this independently? And that changes everything. Our task becomes one of design rather than constant intervention. We prepare the environment, we establish clear routines, we model the ground rules, and we show children how to organize themselves, and then we step back. That's important thing. And then we step back. When the systems are thoughtfully created, the behaviors we used to correct begin to fade. Children start to self-regulate because the environment invites them to. They begin to solve problems because they have the tools and agreements to do so. They rely less on adult and more on their own capabilities. And this is the heart of the shift from manager to guide. The goal is not compliance, the goal is capability. As guides, we are not fixing every moment. We are building a framework with which children learn to navigate their own moments. And when that happens, the classroom becomes calmer. Not because we are managing more effectively, but because the children are managing themselves. I'm sorry, my computer is not working with me. Okay. Systems that empower. When we talk about freedom through systems, we are talking about the invisible architecture that makes a Montessori classroom feel calm, purposeful, and alive. These systems aren't imposed from above. They are created with the children and sustained by the children. And that is precisely where and why they empower rather than restrict. Let me invite you to think, which system in your classroom, maybe a morning routine, a visual guide, or a job chart, has made the biggest difference for your children? Most of us can name at least one structure that completely changed the flow of the day. Routines anchor the rhythm of the classroom. Visual supports reduce verbal reminders and offer independence. Community agreements set the tone for relationships and shared responsibility. Roles and classrooms jobs help children feel that they belong and that their contribution matters. And work cycles give children the protected time they need to deep concentration. Each of these systems give children something essential. And as I already mentioned, clarity. Clarity about what to do, how to do it, and how to choose responsibly. When children know how the classroom works, they no longer wait for the adult to direct them. They step forward with confidence. They begin to anticipate needs, solve practical problems, and support one another. In this sense, systems are not constraints. They are a shared language that allows the community to function harmoniously. This is why freedom emerges when systems run smoothly. They replace constant adult management with mutual understanding. They give children ownership instead of instructions. They create a space where autonomy can flourish. In Montessori systems, do not limit freedom, they liberate it. Mhm. Well, Milka, I think that you need to work with me. I need another slide. Thank you. In Montessori, we speak often about prepared environment, but just as important is preparing a culture in which children experience their own purpose every single day. Entrepreneurial competence, initiative, creativity, and collaboration does not come from lectures or activities labeled like entrepreneurial. It comes from children feeling deeply that their actions have meaning. So, how about this question? How would you answer this one? When have you seen a child absolutely light up because they knew their contribution mattered? Those moments are not small, they are formative. In a Montessori classroom, purpose is grounded in real daily responsibilities. Children care for materials not because they are told to, but because they understand that the community depends on them. They tend the environment, watering plants, organizing shelves, preparing snack, not as chores, but as acts of stewardship. They support peers, resolve small conflicts, and learn to consider perspectives beyond their own. And beyond the classroom, they interact with the wider community. They do the visits, projects, they do the practical life that touches the real life. All these experiences say to the child, you belong, you matter, and what you do makes a difference. Okay. Cosmic education builds on this sense of purpose by offering children a place in an extraordinary narrative, the unfolding story of the universe, life, humanity, and our shared journey. When children hear the great stories, something within them expands. They begin to understand that they are not just individuals with tasks to complete, they are participants in a much larger human endeavor. Have you ever seen the look on a child's face during a great story? The moment they connect themselves in the stars to early humans, to evolution of writing or mathematics? That spark is the beginning of empathy and responsibility. Cosmic education helps children see that their choices matter because they are part of a bigger picture. They recognize the contributions of others across times and cultures. They begin to ask, what can I contribute? How can I help? That shift from self to community, from present moment to broader purpose, is what prepares children to think like innovators, creators, and collaborators. When children understand their place in the universe, they do not need to be convinced to act responsibly. They want to. Their sense of identity is intertwined with their sense of contribution. In this way, cosmic education becomes the foundation of entrepreneurial competence, empathy, and culture. It gives children not only knowledge, but meaning. Elementary children arrive with an incredibly burst of energy, intellectual, social, and emotional. They want to explore big ideas, work with others, and stretch beyond simple tasks. Their minds ask, why, how, what if? Their hearts ask, what can I do with this? And this is where structure becomes a quiet catalyst. With clear frameworks, daily planning routines, project structures, community agreements, children can channel this natural drive into purposeful action. Let me ask you, have you watched a group of children spontaneously organize a project when the right tools were available? And I'm not thinking about a project that they need to write. Any project that they can do in the classroom or in the environment. This can be extraordinary. They begin assigning roles, gathering resources, discussing next steps. They act not because they were instructed, but because they felt empowered. Choosing work develops judgment. Planning their day develops foresight. Organizing projects develops leadership. Collaborating develops empathy and communication. These are the early seeds of the entrepreneurial mindset, the ability to see possibility and take initiative. This is not future preparation, this is the present experience shaping their future identity. Freedom and systems come together here, turning independence into initiative and initiative into capability. Community in Montessori is not an abstract concept. It is built moment by moment through shared experiences. These activities from the social heartbeat of the classroom. They give children a place to express themselves, to contribute, to negotiate, and to celebrate together. Each of these practices is more than an activity. It is a lesson in belonging. The classroom's constitution teaches the meaning of agreements. Cooking together teaches cooperation and contribution. Maintaining an environment builds stewardship and pride. Dancing, singing, and shared rituals bring joy to every day. And service projects and going outs connect children to the wider world. Let me invite you to think, which of these activities creates the strongest sense of community in your environment? Often it is the simple, repeated rituals that shape the deepest bonds. Through these experiences, children learn to participate in something larger than themselves. They build empathy, communication skills, patience, and collaboration. They learn to contribute a shared culture and to enjoy the richness that shared culture gives back to them. In Montessori, community is not taught, it is lived. And through living it, children grow into responsible, connected human beings. When we think about community in Montessori, we often picture harmony, cooperation, and kindness. But harmony doesn't arise by magic, it grows from structure. Children flourish when their community has clear, predictable systems that make everyone's role visible. Let me ask you, have you noticed how proud children became when a classroom job is theirs for the week? Well, many times in our classroom, they are not happy about the duties, especially about the duty in the kitchen, where they are cleansing the dirty plates and loading the dishwasher. They always complain. But once they do that, the sense of ownership is really powerful. Sometimes, many times I learn how our dishwasher is actually working, about the setup of the dishwasher, that I have different dishwasher at home, and I'm admiring them, how they put the cutlery and the plates into the dishwasher in our school, and what kind of system they have and they can make. So weekly class meetings give children a voice. Rotating jobs ensure everyone contributes and learns new skills. A clear work cycle protects concentration and respect. Shared responsibilities teach collaboration. Conflict-solving routines, and we have many in 6 to 12, like peace tables or restoring conversations that you can have with the students, create a culture of accountability. These are not small details. They are the backbone of community life. When roles rotate and expectations stay consistent, children experience continuity. They learn very concretely that the functioning of their environment depends on them. This builds not only responsibility, but pride, belonging, and mutual respect. The elementary years are a profound phase of moral development. Children at this age are preoccupied with fairness, rules, justice, and the why behind behavior. They want systems that make sense. They want to participate in creating those systems. So this is where Montessori becomes deeply transformative. Instead of teaching morality as a set of instructions, we create experiences in which children can practice it. Let me invite you to consider, when a conflict arises in your classroom, how often do children guide themselves toward a solution? That's moral development happening in real time. They can do that. They can solve the problems. Restorative circles, class agreements that you do together with your children in the class, community problem-solving meetings that you have like every day in 6 to 12 classrooms. These structures help children reflect on their action, repair harm, and make better choices next time. They learn that fairness is not about punishment. It's about restoring balance. They learn that responsibility is shared and not imposed. This is the foundation of ethical entrepreneurship. Children discover that creating value, whether in a project, a community, or a future enterprise requires acting with integrity, empathy, and justice. In Montessori, freedom is not simply about choosing what you want to do. It's about learning how to choose wisely. And children need tools to develop that capacity. These systems are not limits. They are supports that help children grow into self-managing learners. How does a child behavior change when they have a clear plan for their day or a week? Often, stress decreases, and confidence increases, and follow through strengthens. Choice boards, for example, they expand options without overwhelming. Planning sheets and weekly goals break big workloads into manageable steps. And many times the children, they really need this. Work journals help children track their progress and reflect on their decisions. Project plans give structure to creativity. These tools, choice boards, planning sheets, work journals, weekly learning goals, and project plans, teach essential skills: time management, prioritization, perseverance, and self-evaluation. Step by step, children learn to direct their own work and hold themselves accountable. In this way, the child becomes the manager of their own learning, an empowered, confident, and purposeful individual ready to the next challenge. So this is the moment where we shift from ideas into practical reflection. Up to now, we have explored what systems are and why they matter. So now I would like to invite you to look at your own environment and choose one area you would like to strengthen. So is it routines, classroom jobs, conflict resolution, planning systems, community building activities? So take a moment to think about your classroom. Where is the flow smooth and natural? And where do you still feel friction? It might be, for example, mornings that they feel rushed and conflict that takes too much adult time, or planning routines that aren't quite clear enough for the children. So reflect honestly and constructively, and you can ask these questions. What is already working? Where do children struggle? What could be clarified? What small change would make the biggest difference? So if you can, work with me, and if you can choose one from these and write them in the chat. So you can write just number one to the chat for routines, 2 for classroom jobs, 3 for conflict resolution, 4 for planning systems, and 5 for community building activities. I'm going to open the chat. Okay. Odmaka, can you help me? I can't see the chat. Okay, I can see now. So I can see conflict resolution. Yes, many 3. Planning systems, community building activities. Okay. Also routines. Conflict resolution. Yes. So if we would use Menti as Mirka did, yes, maybe conflict resolution would be the biggest one. Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you, I can see. Okay, Ludmilka will share with you a worksheets with duties in the classroom and in the kitchen, and also some like name tags that you can use in the classroom, and it can help the children to be more organized in the classroom. It's going to be just for the inspiration that what we do here in the classroom. And if you want, we can talk more about the routines, or if you have any questions, I would be happy to use this time to answer your questions. So if you want, you can just write them to the chat, or you can also unmute yourself and ask me the questions. I would be happy to hear somebody. I feel like talking to myself for 20 minutes. So I would be happy to have a dialogue. So you can write questions to the chat or unmute yourself, or if not, I can talk more about the routines and how we do them, like in practically.
Vierka, I have a question.
Yes, please.
In the morning, have you communicated with the kids the planning system, or what will they do during the day? You write this on the board, or you talk with each kid specifically?
Do you mean like what's going to happen during the day, or like duties, or which system do you mean?
I mean, which work they're supposed to choose, because they come like first graders. Okay, they know they need to do writing or maths, but sometimes they want to schedule what they need to do first. What is required?
Mhm. Uh, Sometimes we write on the board, but what we have learned is that once we start working with their journals, uh, you can use some marks for the first graders who are not able to read yet, or we invite them individually, or you can have like a short meeting with them that this is going to happen, and you are going to invite them for the presentations. If you write something on the board, still for the first graders, they are not able to read it if they come like like not from Montessori environment, and they are not able to read in Slovak. So always this agreement, like spoken agreement, that look today you are going to have these two presentations, and I'm going to invite you for the presentation. So they are oriented a little bit, or um, if like it also depends from day to day. For example, I work now in the environment with older students, like 9 to 12. And we have also some other experts coming to the classroom, and every day is different. So, for example, on Monday, they have a writer coming to write, and they write a book together. So they know that he is coming. And when I mean, when you are working with the experts and they come to your environment, you also need to teach them like how to work in the environment, that they don't come and they don't expect like a schedule, that they are going to have a lesson, and it's like a lesson for everyone. So we have learned also working with these experts that when they come to the classroom, they are going to have the children will expect that they are going to have a presentation in small groups, and then they work individually on the follow-up from the expert, and the expert is also checking the work with them, because if we have that expert for a day or two, we are not able, the other teachers like working in the environment, we are not able to check the work or give them the follow-up or give them the feedback. So we need to plan like exact time when the expert is working with those students. So the students, they know, but there is never like a fixed time, because once you start to plan the fixed time, the children will be waiting, and they will not be encouraged to go and do their free work. So Of course, this orientation, like when is going to happen what, sometimes you need to have like exact times that, I mean, not exact times, like exact information that you pass to the children that today definitely the music teacher is coming. Yes, it's coming in the afternoon. And the music teacher is taking them for a presentation, and they are going to work together, and maybe they'll have an individual follow-up that they are going to work on the song. Maybe the teacher is also passing some information to us so they can work on that follow-up the other day. So it has to be organized somehow, because if you are not alone in the classroom, then the children, they will start to behave and start to be waiting and having these expectations that somebody will come and tell me. Yes. So many times when we have 2 or 3 people coming during a day, we have a morning circle where we inform and when we give all of us orientation. Many times we leave the children to tell us, like how they expect the day should look. Okay, so not only, or we ask them the questions, or we encourage them and empower them, like, so how would you like to have this day to be organized? Yes, so it's not always like we adults, we give them our ideas that, okay, we do this, we do that, etc. Okay, and we are happy that the structure and the systems are working. But the point is to teach them to self-organize or organize as a group, and how they think that we can manage this day with all of the tasks. Because when you work in the environment and you want to create a time for their free work, where the free work is not limited by time and space, yes, you need to provide them with that time and space, and it shouldn't be organized like daily or weekly. Okay, I mean that every day has a strict structure, because then you will come to a schedule where children, they know what to do, and they will behave like very obedient children, but they will not have time to go and do the deep work in their free work, in their big work. Do you know what I mean? Like when they need time to explore more, but they are interrupted by another adult that, it's time to have Slovak, or it's time to have mathematics. You haven't done mathematics today, so you should go and do the mathematics. You should do the math. Okay. So you have to feel the environment that you are working in, and there should be definitely like a Montessori leader in the classroom who is also who understands like what the children need every day, and how he is letting the experts to come and work. Okay. It's very sensitive, because when you have experts coming, especially like in Slovak, you have to have these experts coming if you are official school. Like you need to have like a special teacher for biology, okay, or Slovak language, So when they come, we don't want them to feel that they come and they stand by the door and they are waiting for the main teacher to tell them that now you can take this table and you can have the presentation. Yes, we don't want them. So they feel like sometimes like, okay, I came, but I have nothing to do because they are working and I don't want to interrupt them. Okay. So, yes, so you have to like manage the day, but like I am learning, especially this year, like how sensitive we need to be, because if we start to organize the children to move from one corner to another corner, like from one teacher to another teacher, and we are not respecting what they are working at or how much deep they want to go to their work that they are doing at that time. For example, they do their research on space or some like special topic very important for them, then it is not we are not creating and supporting a Montessori environment, and we are not giving them and supporting the capability that they can organize their learning. Like what I want to learn, I have time and space. And it is also I mean, the same attitude you have to make sure when you are setting the systems and structures regarding the work in the environment and looking after the environment. Like try not to be like adults in that situation that you know better than them, but try to listen to them, try to be more like a guide and mediator, that like what do they think. Maybe, I mean, it should always be an agreement, for example, on daily routines, like looking after the environment. When maybe you come to an agreement how it should look like, who is going to look after I mean, if you are setting the rules for the school care, like who is going to look after the math shelf, the geometry shelf, okay, the science environment, or the duties in the kitchen and in the dining room. I mean, maybe you will come to an agreement that is not perfect, but they need to learn from these imperfect rules, just to have the ideas that they can make suggestions, and they can improve them. Okay, so yeah, I would like to I will leave you to have another question. Okay. So any other question, if you would like to? Thank you. I hope hopefully this guy I replied to your to your question. Okay, Ines is asking, what are your experiences with conflict solving in a 9 to 12 classroom? I feel this take far too much time in my own 9 to 12 classroom. You mentioned a peace table. What exactly is this? You can have a peace table that can have this tag, a peace table, and they can that would be a table when you would gather and where you would discuss their problem. You need to become effective, like in listening and in solving the problem that they try to, like you are going to be a mediator, that you are giving the questions and they don't come to you for the answers. They come to you and you give them the right question, okay? I know that the conflict resolutions are on and on and on. They look different with age 6 to 9, and we still have from 9 to 12. They just look different. Okay, from 6 to 9, when it's like it looks like pointing, he did this and he did that and he told me this. So I mean, I'm showing this finger a bit because it really looks like that, and it looks like that they complain or they want to talk about somebody else, and it's so important to them. But in fact, it's that they are sensitive to this fairness and justice, and that they know, okay, they know better than the others. They want to show you this way that they know the rules, or that it wasn't just, or it wasn't fair, and they need to speak up loudly, okay, they just don't use the proper language. So prepare yourself as an adult to introduce the vocabulary. From 6 to 9, you need to introduce the vocabulary. What is it to be fair? How does it look like? Does it look like this or does it look like that? Okay, or if I do something like this, is it fair? Okay, so there is a very good material called Virtues Guide. If you Google Virtues Guide, it was, I think, published in America. And we have these virtues guides for parents, and we also have them virtues guide for teachers. Okay, there are 2 books, and they are also online. So you can learn that exact vocabulary. For example, there are 53 in these books. There are 53 virtues explain, like what is, for example, justice. How do you practice justice? Okay, etc. Like, is it just if you do this, if you do that? And this is a very good material for teachers to get the vocabulary and be prepared for this peaceful conflict resolutions. Okay, because when they come to you, you just give them this gift of vocabulary. Okay, and always try to like praise them. Oh, you recognize that he was doing this and that. Okay, so they feel that you trust them. Okay, you don't judge them that they came and it looks like backbiting. Okay, but you acknowledge that, you know, that they see that it's not fair or it's not just. But in 9 to 12, like I'm working now a lot with 9 to 12 students, and it has a different, you know, different power, you know, that maybe I am less patient, okay, and to be honest, just last week I had a meeting with few of my students where I had to show them that, you know, I had to have like open conversation. It was like very kind, but I said that, you know, I think that you are like spending time on talking about this and that about somebody else like too much. Like, what do you think? Like, I feel like it's too much, you know, and you are losing your time on your work. Okay, so we had this conversation, and I think it worked. It was actually the time when we had individual meeting with our parents. So I saw a parent of each of the child, you know, and after that I had a conversation with them. So I prepared also the parents that I'm going to talk to them that it's too much, you know, like I explained to parents that yes, this is very important for us, you know, to talking about like how we feel and how we feel about somebody else, and about the rules and how we are setting the rules, etc. And if somebody is not happy, we are not ignoring it, but we try to understand like what is the problem, what is the issue about not being happy about something. So we encourage them to be empathical. You know, empathy is very important in the Montessori classroom. But then after each of the parents, I said that I'm going to have this meeting, that sometimes it's too much, you know, and that I trust them. I said that I'm going to explain to them that I trust them, that they can think about this, like how they can resolve the problems by themselves. But if they feel that they are hurt, okay, or something, they always can reach me. And we have also psychologists like working with us, and she has like a special hour. We announced at the beginning of the school year that she will have a special hour when she comes, and they can talk to her. She is also teaching this virtues program in our class in our school, also in the cycle 6 to 9, and also in 9 to 12, and also 12 to 15. Each program looks a little bit different. Like with 6 to 9, we are focusing on understanding and getting this vocabulary about the virtues, and in 9 to 12, we enrich them even more, and we discuss in like how we can see it in the classroom. And with 12 to 15, we look at the society, like how we can see these virtues in the society, because this is the environment that we are preparing them to. So they have also this special hour with the psychologist, and of course, like it's very good because she has different experience. She knows like even like better, how to work with some of the children, and we have also children with special needs. So it's like a combination that I'm really grateful to have this person in our environment. Okay, so how do we handle students who triggers cause disruptions in the class? What kind of disciplinary action can we do to maintain the peace in the classroom? Oh, I'm really grateful for this because I wanted to mention it in my presentation and I forgot. When you have a student who triggers and cause disruptions, you try to find out like what he is good at, and he will become manager. Okay, for example, we have a boy who is like doing this like funny things in the classroom, yes, and he's taking attention because he's funny, like anytime, anywhere. Okay, so he became a manager of fun. So you talk to him and he becomes a manager. So he can think of activities that we can prepare and where we can have fun. When you see that some of the children, they need to become better in the school care, so they become the managers of the school care, that they are the ones that they will check if the duties were done. If so I mean, let's give them this empower so they can get better. Of course, you need to work with them individually. They need to understand the expectations that you have from them, and you have to work with them closely. Okay, but the work is different, like when you point to them that you trigger, you do the causes, you do the disruptions. Okay, so it's different work, like when you empower them, that you trust them, that okay, you are so good at this, you have so many ideas that you can cheer the people, in the classroom. So I think that you can be a manager of fun, so let's think about some activities that you can do. For example, we are going to have Christmas markets, so we can think about some activities that you can do for younger children, that they can have fun at this Christmas market. Okay, so they become engaged, and they feel that they have some like special skills, but they can use them in a right way. Like I talked to my colleague, and she said that it's more like it's a kind of like manipulation. but it's like you are going to manipulate these students, but you are actually, directing them to the right way. Okay, so something like that. Give them empowerment, and so they can become managers. Managers of that skill that they need to good, they need to train. So what is your routine like in your classroom? So do you mean like routine, like daily routine? Okay, so we have 2 blocks. The first one starts at 8:15. Usually in Slovakia, the school starts at 8 o'clock, but the traffic where both our buildings are in small cities, and there's like a big traffic, so we start at 8:15. The children come, of course, to school like at 7, but at 7:30 the school is open, and when they come, they start their work. Sometimes, especially on Mondays, we have morning circles where we inform and orient ourselves what is the week going to look like. If there are some changes, like who is coming, maybe we have some going out, or some special day. And we start the morning circle with like appreciation. We have masters of the ceremony. This is a kind of like duty that the children assigned to, and master of the ceremony opens the circle and welcomes everyone. It's a child. Yes, master of the ceremony is a child, and he or she he or she welcomes everyone. And the first part of this morning cycle is that the children express how they feel, or how was their weekend, and he says, we can start from my left hand. So he's the organizer, like which way we start. Okay. The rule is that if you don't feel like you want to express yourself that day, you can say just pass, like in a kind way. And of course, another child takes turn. The second part of the morning circle is that the master of the ceremony passes the word to teachers, and the teachers they announce, they give announcements. And when we have we have also these circle times at the end of the day. So I will tell you also the third part. Okay, like we always close the day with afternoon circle time. Okay, the master of the ceremony is the organizer of the afternoon circle time. He knows the time that 2:45 is the afternoon circle time, and children are gathering. It's a nice way to close the day. It's also that part when parents are coming, so they can see that the environment is calm, okay, and the students are leaving. And this third part of the afternoon circle time is the gratitude, when they express what it's gratitude, but that kind of gratitude that the children are supposed to say that I would like to acknowledge somebody or something. Okay, so somebody can be, for example, I acknowledge Michael for teaching me working with this material. Okay, and or they can acknowledge something. Sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's material in the classroom. Okay, sometimes it's a toy that they are looking forward, to play with at home. This is something, this is a part of our routine, like in the morning, especially on Monday. but every day in the afternoon we are closing with a circle time that has these 3 parts. This is also a time when a teacher can give orientation for next day, so you don't have to have circle time in the morning, and the children start the flow, and they start to work when they come. So they have time for the free work. So we have this morning block that lasts till 12, but the children who have duties in the dining room and in the kitchen, they leave at 11:30 to do their duties. Then we have lunch from 12 to 12:30, and from 12:30 to 1 o'clock we have free time where children usually go outside and play, and they come at 1 o'clock back to the classroom. So we have the second block from 2 to 3 o'clock, and I mean from 2 to 2:45, okay, because then we have this circle time. I wanted to say something else and I forgot, but I can see. I don't know how much time we have. Ludmila will tell me,
Just,
yes?
yeah, just 3 minutes
3
before we
minutes,
have to
okay.
finish. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so there is one more question, but I wanted to say also I had this idea when we have problematic, how you say, disruptive students, make them busy. Many times they just need attention, and very good. What is very good if you give them a presentation and they become good at it, and you ask them if they can teach another child, okay, and always share the like how if they did well, okay. So if they are seeking for this attention, for example, you give them you give them a presentation about I don't know, large bit frame, okay, and they give a presentation, and you ask them, you work with them so that you make sure that they do well, and then you ask them if they can give a presentation to 2 other children, or 1-to-1 presentation with another child, and you ask them that, okay, and then come back to me and tell me how it went. Okay, so they become like engaged, they have your attention, and they don't have time, to do something else. So they feel really, really important. Okay. I know that there was one more question, like very, very long reading session where the students sit and listen to the all read when the first implemented quiet catch. Okay, so if I understand, and reading sessions, well, we support children with quiet reading. Quiet reading is very good time for quiet reading is before lunch, because when the children leave for the duties from 11:30 to 12. Usually the class starts to be like noisy, okay? I mean, more noisy than usual, okay? So this can be a good time for quiet reading or a good exercise, that you do some stretching or yoga or something like that. So they work also with their body. So quiet reading a lot, anytime. I mean, you need to, for improving the reading, you need to establish a culture of reading. So you have also special occasions where, like, we have this writer coming to our classroom, and he loves books, he writes books, so he shares a lot. So you can have also like activity where children bring and share the books. You can have a special space on a bookshelf for that, and the children can sign to a worksheet that I bought this book and you can borrow the book. Yeah. When we're
Thank you
coming to
very much.
finish, yes.
Yes, we have to finish. Thank you very much. I send the link to the main sessions and you can go and it's really time. Thank you very much, Vierka.
Yeah,
And thank you
Thank
everyone.
you, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.